Hey, what's up, guys? Hope you're having an awesome Friday. Thank you for hanging out with me here on 412 Productions for another broadcast. Jump into chat, say hello wherever you're watching. We'll give you a shout out before we officially start the show at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. I see Q-Oys and Ken Chris over on D Live. Welcome, Amy, for you. Just starting to follow the channel over there. Love to see it. And Sweet Lou 1955 as well. Good to be with you guys. And again, to uh welcome to the show. Let's see over on Rumble. Get over there. I see Dave 75. Ken Chris is over there too. Everywhere. It says here, just here to drop a thumbs up. Yes, if you're watching on Rumble, please do give us a thumbs up on the video as we get going here. And of course, really the best place to watch the show is here on pilled.net, which I am way behind on getting this properly set up for. There we go. Do it over here as well. Oh boy, it's been a day, guys. Very, very rushed show prep. So stick with me, bear with me today as I get myself situated here. All right, Floyd, due diligence. What's up, buddy? Delia checking in from Arizona. Floyd hooking us up with a fajita, the way you like it, Friday cookie. Thank you for kicking off the gold pills, Floyd. I really appreciate it. And yeah, let's go with a nice steak and shrimp fajita on this Friday. That sounds delightful. Patriots 714, Ken Chris out there as well. Good to see you. D Richard and HL Paco in the house. Light Spirit Lance, welcome, my friend. And who else? Scrolling. Mad Joker. What's up, Mad Joker? Good to see Q High 17. Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Barb Robbins. Great to see you. Dave 75. Double dipping. Love it. M the Painter with the can. Says under the wire. Great to have you here, M the Painter. Thank you for the can. Roy Stones and Bones over on the West Coast. Great to see you, Roy. Kane Chris with a THC cookie for the working bones. Much appreciated. Dale Burse here checking in from North Dakota as always. Great to see you, Dale. Snow Bunny 68. Good to see you. Ellie Freedom. What's going on? Great to be with you today. Kaz 1012. Carenza and Liz Kirkwood out there. Kimha, what's up, Kimha? Kaz 1012. Bella 214. Cali Patriot 14. And Evan the Painter says 4 p.m. Your start time is Biden's bedtime. That's right. That's right. I like to think that Biden likes to turn on deplorable discussions as he has a warm glass of milk and turns in for the night right as we get started here. I'm sure he's listening and keep crushing it there, Mr. Resident Biden. You are doing a wonderful job. Don't let anybody in your party tell you otherwise. We're here with you to the very end. You creepy pedophile fuck. Anyway, Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. Braves Piano with a can. Thank you. Says Cold Friday beverages for you, Adel. Congrats to Skeens for starter in the All-Star game. How cool is that? You know, he is only the second pitcher in MLB history to have 2 games with 6+ no-hit innings and 11+ strikeouts in the same season. Nolan Ryan back in 1973 is the only other pitcher to do that. This kid is 22 years old. He has only started 11 games, and he's already done that twice. He's starting the All-Star game. He went seven no-hit innings yesterday, striking out 11 batters. His ERA is 1.92. He's got a whip of 0.92. If you know anything about baseball, those numbers are straight up gaudy. And I mean, that's for anybody. This kid is a 22-year-old rookie, just making professional hitters look absolutely helpless at the plate. I'm going to enjoy the next 3 to 4 seasons the Pirates have him before he inevitably leaves for free agency and becomes a Yankee or a Dodger or a Red Sox or one of these big market teams that could actually afford a talent like him. But my God, it has been fun to watch that kid pitch. Thank you, Braves Piano, for the can and allowing me to talk a little baseball here on a Friday afternoon. Stuck in New York. Great to see you. Anyone out there as well. D Patriots, say hi to D Lurker for us. Great to see you out there. And who else? Oh, Russian bot in the house. What's up, man? Good to see you, Lucy Anders, John, dad of four. Good to see everybody out there. Thank you all again for being here for today's show. Hit that thumbs up button if you're watching on Pilled. Hit that red pill button. Repost the show. All that good stuff. Yeah, Braves Piano. He is absolutely on fire. Dude is like unreal, unhuman. It's crazy. Yavapai Michael out there. Good to see you as well. All right, everybody. We'll be right back with the start of the show.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. We evicted the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all. I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall. We're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong and stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production. Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adult Hero is the power that's controlling the flight. With all you patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they're confined. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sites? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only incentivized to start raising our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops. Now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess. They want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful. Then you're gone. But not us. We're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adult Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
Yo, what's up, everybody? I hope you guys are having an amazing Friday afternoon. Thank you all for being here for another installment of Deplorable Discussions. My name is Adol Nero. It is a scorching hot July 12th, 2024 here in Pittsburgh, PA. Gorgeous, partly cloudy day. We're in the low 90s, and I'm absolutely loving the heat this year. With me is my OG, Mr. Tennessee Homesteader, TN. Happy Friday, sir. I hope you're staying cool.
Happy Friday. Yeah, I'm indoors right now, obviously. Trying to take a breather from the outdoors.
You out in the heat today?
Pardon?
Were you out in the heat today?
Yeah, since this morning.
Yeah.
It's not too bad, though, because it's a little partly cloudy or partly sunny, you know, that kind of middle. So as long as you dodge the sunlight, it's not too bad.
Yeah. I was out on the golf course this morning, and it was already in like the mid 80s, and just the sun was beating down from the very.
Yeah.
I love it. I don't know. I feel recharged by it most days. Sometimes it takes it out of me, but other days it feels so good. You know, it feels like it's just pumping energy into me. Um, so charging up in the sun is the way I look at it.
Cool.
I'm
Yeah,
sold.
it's nice when, like I said, as long as for me, as long as I stay out of the direct sunlight, not because of any issues, it's just more or less that's where you really get beaten,
Yeah,
particularly when you're working. It's one thing when you're golfing or enjoying yourself, on the water,
yeah,
that kind of deal.
right. Definitely different, different ways of expending your energy for sure.
Yeah.
Well, glad you're here, Tian. We got a big boy press conference to talk about, Tian. A
Yeah.
super big boy press conference.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to getting into that. I've got some clips, a bunch of reaction and stuff. We're gonna continue spending time on the Democrat turmoil because it's just so much fun to watch your enemy bicker and squabble, and not know what to do with themselves. So there's a lot of different things going around that you can see some people changing the way they're looking at this, other people digging in harder. So I'm really looking forward to bringing some of this stuff up and hearing your thoughts on it as we go through it all. So great to have you, Tien.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah,
Let's
it'll be interesting.
yeah let's bring in Drunk Pinata as well. Pinata, happy Friday, sir. Hope you're having a good end of your week. And how was thinking logically today?
It's pretty good. I think I'm starting to see because I'm like, what, is this two different factions going against each other? And I think there is some of that for sure. But you also have these different networks. You have CNN is kind of already, they're on board. They're the people they bring on to talk about it, the people they bring on that say they want Biden to step down. But you don't really see that much on MSNBC. And so I'm thinking, okay, is there a clear faction divide between what network they feel they can influence or go to? And maybe I'm sure there could be some of that. But what I was thinking after I saw a little bit more of their quote analysis of what happened, they are what you have is people that watch MSNBC are much more dug in living in that what I call the narrative matrix more than the people that watch CNN. So you're going to have to let those people down and treat them with kid gloves for longer than you would people that watch CNN, right? So you're going to have to really let them down because they've been propagandized for so long. Yeah, sure, they can change things and with their framing kind of on a whim and they'll go with it. But for something like this where they've lied and gaslit so long about Joe Biden's abilities, they have to kind of really give them another reason to let go. And so what they've kind of shown on MSNBC, they had a panel: Chris Hayes, Rachel Maddow, Joy Reid, and Nicole Wallace,
The think
where they're saying that, oh well, it's because the polling is showing that Biden can't win. That's why we're now saying that maybe we need to look elsewhere. So what I still think is going on is they're in a holding pattern of purposeful confusion and using the media to do it, for them to be able to do whatever they need to do at the convention, whatever they need, even if it's Joe and Kamala. Still, the point will be either we've dealt with this and he's still fine, we can move forward, and we've already answered the question of whether or not he's ready to serve, right? Or we've dealt with the issue that he wasn't ready to serve, and we can go with this next person, and that's also been solved. So you see, either way, they get to say that they've addressed this and we can move on. Again, according to how they're telling their base to behave, they're saying, or how they're coddling to their base, right? Either way, they're laying a groundwork for they can go with him, and we've already vetted this and it's fine, or we've taken care of the situation, we've swapped people out, we're going with these people. And all the different commenters up and down, including Jesse Dollemore and other people, have already kind of either explicitly stated or somewhat implied that they're going to go with whoever it is and suck it up, because otherwise it is orange Hitler, right? That's what they're going with. And so it doesn't matter who it is, you're voting for democracy. That's the message they're going with. So it's but that's kind of what I've been saying, is that it's still this kind of holding pattern, because what was supposed to happen yesterday? Trump was supposed to be sentenced 4 days ahead of the RNC. That didn't happen. Now he gets to go in there essentially with no questions asked about whether or not, oh, well, can we have a convicted felon and be president? None of that is even there, which is, I think, is something they were counting on, because it's very clear that they thought if they could get Trump to a convicted felon status, that somehow that would alleviate any of the potential issues that Joe Biden has as the top of their ticket on the Democrat side. So with that out of the way, Trump gets to go in, then they get to figure out who Trump's VP is going to be. And then once they have that assessment of that ticket, then I think you'll see them figure out, okay, what are they going to do with their ticket? So I think right now they're still in that holding pattern that I talked about over the past few days of keeping their base in a state of confusion while they essentially can do whatever they need to do. And like I said, keeping them in a state of confusion allows them to, whenever they make something definitive in the narrative, they'll just run with it, because these people need to be told what to think.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense as far as like a strategy, right, for how to handle this right now. The state of confusion allows them to not commit one way or another until they figure out what it is they actually want to do. Because right now they clearly don't have a unified direction for the party, the ticket, or how they want to message to the American people. So that makes a ton of sense. It really does. Anyway, let's take care of sponsors, and we'll get into all this in a lot more detail. And I think I might have one of the clips you're talking about lined up as far as with Nicole Wallace. I've got a bunch of different clips and little things to watch. But first, our sponsor today, and you guys know all about our sponsor, which is earthgardenbotanicals.com. Jolene runs this company. She's absolutely amazing. She's an herbalist and a health coach. She makes these wellness products up in Montana. They're really great. I've been using the white pine needle extract a lot lately. I love the way it makes me feel. The CBD oil tinctures are great as well. I use these quite often too. They're all the ingredients for all the CBD and hemp products are locally and organically grown on small Montana farms. The tinctures taste great. Flavors like orange ginger, bergamot, huckleberry, cinnamon bliss, cherry. Even the unflavored is very good. You have CBD oil for pets, Delta 8 R&R nighttime gummies for a good night's sleep. Check out the topical cream for your sore joints and muscles. It's an arnica salve with or without CBD infused. If you'd like the Sunshine Pine Needle extract, check out the Sunshine Pine Needle tea. It's basically a sipping version of the extract. Really good for detoxing. There's elderberry tea, golden potion tea, serenity. Elderberry tonic to boost your immune system. Fire cider to clear your sinuses. Really good to have during allergy season. If you're feeling stuffed up, it can offer some quick relief. And the critter juice to help keep the mosquitoes and insects off you. It's all natural. It smells good. It doesn't feel oily and gross on your skin. And it does a really good job keeping you from getting bit up. At least that's been my experience with it since I've started using it. It's been a total game changer for me. And yeah, all these products available for 10% off using promo code 412. So please go check out earthgardenbotanicals.com, load up a cart, use that promo code. Again, that's 412 for 10% off your order. And yeah, please say hi to Jolene for us. She loves you guys. And we absolutely love her and are so grateful that she sponsors this channel. Hit that thumbs up button, hit the red pill button, repost the show, share the link wherever you guys are watching. And thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you to a few of you guys here, because the gold pill has been coming in hot to start the show. So Delia says Skeens is awesome. Glad he gets to start the All-Star game. Hope the nerves don't get to him. I'm not worried about that, Delia. The guy has been a rock so far. He hasn't let the moment get to him since he's come into the league. And I think he's going to show out during the All-Star game. It'll be the first All-Star game I've actually cared to watch in quite a while. So I'm very excited to see how he performs against the very best the American League has to offer. And again, if you guys are baseball fans and you haven't had a chance to see this kid take the bump and start a game, you have to go watch. If you could find a replay of yesterday's game, It is an absolute master class in pitching. Due diligence is why not. It worked in Blazing Saddles. Thank you for the cookie. Not 100% sure what you're referring to, but I appreciate that. Spazoyetti. I mean, I know the movie Blazing Saddles, but I don't understand quite what you're referencing. Spazoyetti says, America first. Thank you for the can. Cheers. Matrix Codebreaker says, thank God it's Friday. Much love, Adel and fam. Much love to you. Boys Blanc says, I'm opening the bar for the live studio audience. All right, guys. It's happy hour. Go get yourself an adult beverage. Boys Blanc is bartending tonight. Woken Walk says, happy Friday, Adel. God bless, and God bless the whole Foxhole fam. Let's go. Let's go, Woken Walk. Bro, dude. Says, just checking in, bro. Great to see you all. Great to see you, bro, dude. Thank you for the cookie. Jesse 81138, Ohio Kimmy. Thank you guys both for the cookies. Old Salty Dog sending a ship our way. Really appreciate that. Says, fun friend Friday is a mindset, right on. Thank you, Old Salty Dog, for the ship. I really appreciate it. Luann V says, it's interesting to see the Dem party so discombobulated. They're usually all NPC like. Yeah, it's a unique time, right? And I think this is part of the collapse of their whole establishment. It's Joe Biden. He might be the best thing to ever happen to America first outside of Donald Trump himself. The sweet, sweet irony that is Joe Biden. Belushi, thank you for the shades. This is for cheap sleeve of balls. Thank you for that, Belushi. I appreciate it. It's great to see you, man. I hope you're having an awesome end of your week, and I hope you got a fun weekend ahead. All right. Thank you guys again for the fast start on the gold pill. I just kept seeing gold, gold, gold popping up the screen. I'm like, we're going to get to these early today. All right. Well, let's just start off with a little discussion. Did you guys watch the big boy press conference yesterday? Did you watch it? The big boy press conference that included teleprompters, a pre-recorded speech, and note cards with the reporters' names of who he was permitted to call upon throughout the night. It was super big boy speech. I was under the impression that there was going to be no teleprompter and that everything was going to be off the cuff. But that clearly was not what happened. They pushed it back 2 hours, I think, to avoid primetime news. And yeah, it was.
And they became primetime news.
Yeah, what's that?
And they became primetime news.
Yeah, I don't.
He just sealed the deal.
I tweeted. I said, I don't know if this was meant to inspire confidence in Joe Biden. This is a disaster. And I said, I'd almost feel bad for the guy if he wasn't such an evil, corrupt piece of shit. I mean, it was hard to watch.
Yeah,
no. Wait a minute. Which ones did you guys see? Because the one I saw, Keith Olbermann said that Joe Biden managed to put toothpaste back in the tube, and that he gave the most masterful foreign policy masterclass that Donald Trump could never do. That's the one I saw. I don't know what you guys saw.
Then he woke up.
One way to bring
it's a masterful class that he calls the president of Ukraine Putin.
Hey, I don't know if you guys know this, that Joe Biden has always been known as a gaffe machine, and we've always known this, everyone. So it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
We've always known this about Joe Biden. The media, have always.
I don't know who's the bigger moron, Olbermann or Biden, because that's a tough one.
It is a tough one.
To answer your question, I did not watch. I just waited for the highlights or the lowlights, depending, because I wasn't wasting my time on that. I knew it was going to be an attempt going into it, and we talked about it last night on Off the Rails, but I knew it was going to be an attempt to make him look good, and he was better than the debate, but he still was horrible.
Talk about a low bar to clear. Better than the debate just means that, like,
then they come up with a big boy. I unbelievable. I immediately, if you're from California, you know Bob's Big Boy. right? That
that's
was
what I
a
mean. That's what I
restaurant.
immediately thought of too. And I was mad at myself that I didn't get on the meme train early enough on that one because I'm like, oh, it's totally it's.
Yeah,
Or you could do a bunch of Austin Powers ones memes
right.
with that as well because it was
Well, I
also
posted a photo of Bob's Big Boy, where it says Big Boy on his chest, right? Uh, but it's funny because I made this comment last night. Did they know Big Boy, Big Guy? Did they even think about that?
Yeah, like
I don't
10%
know.
for the big boy.
We got 10% for the big boy. I mean, the big guy. What a joke! What a joke the whole thing was. And again, I didn't watch it. I just saw the highlights. That's all you needed. You didn't need to. Now, Belushi last night made a very insightful statement about his total support of NATO and the aspect of funding NATO, although he can't, it has to be done with Congress, but unless he robs the military budget, which would be pretty interesting. But to fund NATO, it's just, but Zelensky and then to call his vice president, or he would have chosen Trump as a vice president.
Yeah, well, that was hilarious. We're gonna play those clips. I got the
Okay.
clip, and then I've got the clip of his cabinet sitting there reacting to the gaffe, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful. What do you got
But
here?
this is them dismissing away all the stuff that we're about to go over.
Statement, which also struck me as news. It's time for this war to end, I believe, was the sentence that he uttered. Let me go to you, Joy, for your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I think in some ways this was a classic Biden. Foreign policy is his bailiwick. He was, chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee. As he mentioned, this is his strong point. And I think the parts where the press conference went into foreign policy and became rather sort of a mundane press conference, this was not like strictly the White House press corps. So it gave President Biden an opportunity to be normal. A lot of this struck me as just very normal. And I think that is something that he needed. This was President Biden as the longtime policy wonk. He gave himself credit for getting 50 nations to agree to expand NATO. He was very, there was a lot of sort of self-praise of his own foreign policy, which I think is important. He touted his victory.
There's a lot of head nodding going on if you're not seeing it.
He had a really passionate moment at the end where he talked about the fact we need to control guns, not girls. And he got really passionate about more children being killed by a bullet than any place on earth in the United States of America. So he showed some passion there. I think, the gaffes and mixing up names, I think for people who've been observing Joe Biden for a really long time, that's actually just normal Biden. Like, he does mix up names. He was known for gaffes. This is the joke that was always about Joe Biden is that he's the gaffe guy. So I don't know that that is necessarily going to harm him in some special way. It's the fact that he had the energy, the capacity, and the ability to be normal Joe Biden, if a little more hoarse, if a little bit more, obviously older, just an older version of the Biden that we've sort of gotten used to over the years. It was the abnormality of the Biden in the debate with Donald Trump that threw people off so much. But I will close just by saying the guy that we just saw for the last hour is definitely not someone who is considering leaving the race. He cited the polls showing that there's no data that he's seen that says that he can't win. He was very praiseworthy of Kamala Harris, of Vice President Harris, as he should be, and said some really warm and good things about her. But he also said, even though that he believes that she is clearly qualified to be president, and that's why he chose her.
No, he said Trump, but okay.
Even if someone showed him data that showed that she did better than him, unless he sees data that he can't win, this doesn't sound like a man that's thinking about getting out.
The data is out there. He just has to look for it.
Yeah, but he has
because that's what this whole diatribe is what you call lemonade.
Yeah.
Some of the other commentary, TN, is they've been saying is that they're wondering if he has even been shown this data, and my guess is no.
I have
the same way he was never probably told exactly what happened in 2020.
Yeah, I have the clip where they're talking about whether or not they're showing him accurate polling information. Same panel. I think it's later in that segment or earlier in that segment. But it's the exact same like 4-tile shot here. So I'm pretty sure it's the same segment. that goes over that. We'll play it in a minute, but so MSNBC is being far nicer to him, Pinata, than CNN is definitely my read. CNN's really had the knives out for him. I have not seen much love for Biden on CNN, but MSNBC seems to be a bit softer towards him. Is that the read?
Yeah.
All right, let's play some of these gaffes. Let's start with this. Joe Biden is going to introduce President Zelensky, but instead calls him, well, you'll see.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin.
And the idiots behind him started clapping, like as if.
Now, so did he have a teleprompter there? Because how do you confuse Zelensky with Putin?
I don't know.
I mean, I don't mean the people. I mean the name, the word. And he's at NATO.
Well, I want to see if there's a more complete clip here. I think I played a shorter one. Let me see. That's afterwards.
And now I want to hand it over to the president of Ukraine, who has as much courage as he has determination. Ladies and gentlemen, President Putin. President Putin. He's going to beat President Putin. President Zelensky. I'm so focused on beating Putin, we got to worry about it. Anyway, Mr. President,
I'm better.
You are a hell of a lot better.
Oh my God. It's so bad. It's so bad.
I mean, you're at NATO. He's right there, and you introduce him as President Putin. It's like,
did you notice he was slurring?
Yeah.
So even when he's lucid, apparently, I think it's due to drugs. He's slurring.
As close to lucid as they can make him these days. Anyway.
Yeah.
You saw it here. Said those damn cheap fakes. Yeah, right. Those damn cheap fakes. Here's another good one. Talking about Vice President Kamala Harris, or at least that's what he meant to do.
Best and worst dinner for your waistline. Sweet potatoes. Try to find the purple sweet potato. They're the hot.
The Patriot Power Generator 2000X from
A list of people to call on here. Reuters.
That's not it.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president.
I think this might be in more context. Let me see.
Mason.
Mr. President, your political future has hung over the NATO summit a little bit this week. Speaker Pelosi made a point of suggesting that your decision on whether to stay in the race was still open. George Clooney and a handful of lawmakers have called on you to step aside. Reuters is reporting tonight that UAW leadership is concerned about your ability to win.
UAW just endorsed me, but go ahead.
Isn't it weird that this reporter at the NATO is bringing up what George Clooney thinks? Like, George Clooney called on you to step aside. Like, he's a Hollywood actor. Like, who the hell? Like, it's just.
Well, the only reason why is because he was at the event with Obama.
Yeah.
And they raised that money, and remember the whole cheap fake thing that spawned from that and the parachute one, wherever that was that overseas? Was that?
That was during the was Normandy, I think, right?
The G7.
Okay, yeah, okay. So he said that yes, indeed, in his op-ed in the article that he put out, I can't remember what publication it was, doesn't matter. That yes, Obama actually had to help him off the stage. Like, that was not Joe, or that was not taken out of context. And then he also said that the Joe Biden that he saw is the same one from the debate and behind the scenes. So that's why they brought him up in particular, because over the past day or two, that was the big thing in the news media, is that those types of people were starting to say Joe needs to go out of the race. So his reference to Clooney was relevant in that way.
Okay. Yeah, I find it funny, like that's the example, like George Clooney, but I get why, but it's just where we are right now. And
Yeah, the op-ed that he put was making news in the corporate media.
yeah, no, I realize that. It's just funny to me that he was mentioned specifically. When there's a lot of Democrat like elected officials that have also said that. It's just funny that like the actor George Clooney is of significance, but I do understand why. All right.
Thank you. My question for you is, how are you incorporating these developments into your decision to stay? And separately, what concerns do you have about Vice President Harris's ability to beat Donald Trump if she were at the top of the ticket?
Look, I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that
Oh, wait.
the consideration is that I think I'm the most qualified person to run for president. I beat him once, and I will beat him again. Secondly, the idea, I served in the Senate a long time. The idea that senators and congressmen.
There you go. Vice President. He picked Vice President Trump because he thought that she could beat Trump. I don't understand how.
That's the shortest sentence possible, and he still screwed it up.
Yeah. So this is great right here. Ready? This is.
And then, you know, when he says, "I beat him once, I'll beat him again." If you look at the way he said it, it bolsters our perspective, I believe, that he believes he beat him.
Yeah, I think he does. Like
the body language looks like he says, "I know I beat him. I can do it again."
Which again, you know, them not being real with him has created this stubborn man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, had he known that they cheated him in there to begin with?
Exactly. Why do you want me out? I'm doing great.
Yeah, exactly. I beat him already. Like I did. You told me I did. Oh, I love every bit of this. Here, this is the same quote, but you gotta look at his cabinet here as he says it. It's watch him. It's subtle, but watch Blinken and then watch the guy behind, just Lloyd Austin, the guy behind him. Like it's you can tell they're just so incredibly uncomfortable.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that the consideration.
Watch Blinken twitch again. Watch it. You can visibly see the pain. And then the other guy goes to like cover his mouth. Like
the other guy is Jake Sullivan.
Jake Sullivan goes to like cover his face. Like he almost does like the hand in his like on his
exactly.
Hand, but he stops himself. He stops himself, but you can see the reaction is.
Yeah, he went to the pensive move, right?
Yeah. Ready? Watch again.
I wouldn't have picked Vice President Trump to be vice president, but I think she was not qualified to be president. So let's start there. Number one. The fact is that
his eyes gave it away. Not Blinken. Blinken's looking down, but Sullivan's eyes just gave it away. It's like, oh no.
Sullivan's eyes gave it away, but the little twitch Blinken does there is like,
yeah, I know. Yeah, no, that's true.
He got like stabbed with like a little taser or something. Like,
it's the same exact body language he did when he messed up with the previous one. There was another one where they had the same look. He just closes his eyes and winces. Where was that at? It was somewhere else.
I know what you're talking about. I don't remember the exact event or where.
It's so frequent that it.
Yeah, that's great.
But that particular one, I remember they caught on camera, and he just was like, "Oof!" Like he just kind of made that face of like, "Oof!" Like a gut punch.
Yeah. Brian 1871, thank you for the Rumble rants. Thanks 4 and 2 and crew. Thank you very much for that. I greatly appreciate it, my friend. All right, so here's another clip from MSNBC. The title of the article on the Gateway Pundit that this comes from is MSNBC hosts worry that Biden being given polling and information by his staff that's not based in reality.
You know, two things on the politics. There's no incumbent president with lower approval ratings who won. There are only 3 with lower approval ratings than he has right now, and they all lost. Donald Trump, George H.W. Bush, and Jimmy Carter. So some of the political information is what worries some folks in his inner circle. And there is right now no poll that shows him winning.
Yeah, I think that's all well said. I mean, the political calculations, I thought, him saying that I would drop out if they said there's no way he could win, and no poll shows that. Of course, no single poll could show that, right? So this is fundamentally him saying that is, to me, puts his finger on what has made this so difficult and so anguishing for so many people, which is that we just don't know the future. No one does. And no one gets to say, if you do this thing definitively, then this will follow, because that's not the way it works. Even if he's not correct about his own political prospects or in denial about the inexorable trajectory of being a human being who is mortal, like we all are, that was, to me, clarifying.
And
what the hell did he just say? It's like, what? You strung a whole shitload of words that meant nothing.
As they do on MSNBC.
But it's like, even these... I was trying to follow, what point are you making? And it's like, none.
To me, puts his finger on what has made this so difficult and so anguishing for so many people, which is that we just don't know the future. No one does. And no one gets to say, if you do this thing definitively, then this will follow, because that's not the way it works. Even if he's not correct about his own political prospects or in denial about the inexorable trajectory of being a human being who is mortal, like we all are, that was, to me, clarifying.
And, you make a really important point, Chris, that I think we can't say frequently enough as Democrats and people who want Donald Trump to be prevented from returning to the White House sort of anguish over this decision, which is that there is not perfect information about the future. And the argument that President Biden is best positioned to beat Donald Trump is an argument. There are other arguments that are also data-based that other people might have a better shot at it. I think that what Nicole points out about the
notice how she has so many filler words.
Polling numbers for incumbent presidents and the real history of that versus what President Biden said, which was not actually factually accurate as far as I can tell. That's worrying, because it makes me worry that the president is being given information about his political standing that may not be based in reality.
Like he won 2020 for one.
That may be sunnier than is real. But I also think the president spoke from a factually grounded place throughout.
The duality in that statement right there. He spoke from a factually grounded base. And she just got through saying that he's not given reality information.
Well, it's an amazing statement. And you could, to Vignata's point earlier, TN, right? They're clearly living with one foot on both sides of the argument here. And the word salad and the way they're talking clearly shows that they don't have a specific direction they want to go with what to tell people what to think right now.
Well, the simplest way to explain is that there's a lot of people, even on that panel, that understand that Biden can't win based on the current polling, but they still also understand that no one has gotten this information in front of Biden, because otherwise, based on his own statements, if he were to be shown, he would step back. And so now they're at the place where they've acknowledged the point that the last remaining thing is for Biden to actually be literally told by his own people that he can't do it. So as far as what we talked about before, Oz Stoneburner had it right. It was Z was a dictator. That was the previous comment, because I think Z was like they were doing a summit and he called him a dictator, and then in front of him, or when he was still there.
Oh yeah, that's what it was. You're right. Or he said something negative about Z or China in front. Yeah, I can't remember maybe that is what it was. specifically.
No,
And
I think it was like a White House event. They hosted him.
yeah, yeah, and I remember that now. I could see Blinken's face when he said it. It was quite funny. Um, all right, so here's another clip. I'm just running through a bunch of these because it's just in every which direction. I'm starting with a lot of the stuff that is more anti-Joe continuing to run. We'll get into some other things here too, where they have a bit of a different tone. But this clip was pretty interesting. Joe Biden's advisors beat the shit out of White House staff to keep them quiet about Joe Biden's declining condition.
We start with CNN's MJ Lee at the White House. And MJ, you helped break that CNN reporting that there are a lot of Democrats furious with Biden advisors, furious with them. Tell us more.
Yeah, one thing that we have heard so consistently since that CNN debate some 2 weeks ago was how shocked Democrats across the board were by the president's performance and seeing him be so halting and dazed at moments on that debate stage. We talked to a lot of folks who said, of course we know that he has aged. Of course we had seen some signs, especially over the last year, of his decline in terms of his physical stamina, his mental clarity. But that version of the president that we saw on the debate stage, they said, was basically unrecognizable. And what my colleagues and I have really reported on is there is a lot of anger and the blame that is being placed on the inner circle of advisors and family members around the president. And what these people say is this really painstakingly choreographed and stage managed daily operations at the White House around the president that is set up specifically designed to prevent the public from often seeing the president in these extended, unscripted settings. And one thing that many of the folks that we spoke with that they are so furious about is this idea that when people have gone to these inner circle of advisors around the president to express some of these concerns, that they were not taken seriously or really brushed aside. This is what one top Democrat told me. They said everyone who expresses any level of suspicion or contrary views, they call everyone and they beat the shit out of them and say, stay on message. Now, it is not just the inner circle of advisors that is getting a lot of this heat. It is also members of the president's family who, of course, have been up there, really standing by the president's decision to so far stay in this race.
And what is the White House saying in response to all of this? Because it's a barrage of a governor, a senator, a House member, and it's pretty typical. None of them saying, yes, he's the best candidate for us to keep the White House. Not one of them saying, I mean, they're being as polite as they can be, really. Is there any sense inside the White House or the Biden campaign that they're hearing what is being strongly implied in public?
Yeah, I mean, we got an extensive response from the White House to our story defending the breadth of the president's recent travels, his engagements with the press, certainly his record in the first 3.5 years in office. They also provided comments from senior officials in the administration basically saying the president is sharp. One thing that White House spokesperson Andrew Bates said in a part of the statement was Joe Biden has always said that it is fair for reporters to ask about his age. I do have to disagree with that, Jake. The president has not always indicated that he believes those questions are fair, having been on the receiving end of the president declining to acknowledge and dismiss when he has been questioned about polls showing that so many Americans do have questions about his age and his fitness. And I guess that idea is about to be put to the test in a couple of hours, because when he faces those questions at this press conference, we certainly expect that those issues are going to be really top of mind and central to that press conference.
MJ Lee, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Let's go to.
So I just love how they're
now you know why the press conference was scripted.
Yeah, and I love how she's basically saying that, right? Like this has been, the White House has done everything they can to keep reality from getting out to the masses. How much they've propped him up and really kind of cropped what the public sees of him. Limited press conferences, everything's scripted as much as possible, rarely taking questions. When he does take questions, I have this list of people who I'm permitted to call upon. Everything is so controlled. Whereas you compare that to Donald Trump, where everything's off the cuff. He'll answer everyone's question. He's never reading off of anything, or if he does, You can't keep him on the teleprompter for more than a paragraph at a time, unless it's like a more formal, like State of the Union, or like a few speeches here and there. For the most part, you get a little prompter, and then you get Donald Trump being Donald Trump. He answers questions. He says what's on his mind. It feels like a real conversation. So it's interesting to hear CNN acknowledge that reality, and really kind of put that out there in that way, because it's not something we were seeing prior to the debate on the 27th of June. They've completely changed the way they've reported on the administration and the mental state of Joe Biden. All right. More fallout here. After Biden's big boy presser, former Obama advisor David Axelrod says his odds of victory are very, very slim. The Hill reports Democratic strategist David Axelrod in the Post after President Biden's Thursday night press conference said his odds of winning the presidential race are, quote, very, very slim. Axelrod said Biden's team has not been very candid with the president after Biden at the presser said no poll or person is telling him he cannot win in November. Quote, if what he said at the end of the presser is true, it sounds like Biden's team has not been very candid with him about the data. What the data is showing. The age issue is a huge and potentially insurmountable concern, and his odds of victory are very, very slim, Axelrod wrote on X Thursday. Axelrod and other ex-aides to former President Obama have been very critical of Biden since his debate performance at the end of June. The Obama strategist has repeatedly signaled he believes Democrats would have a better chance of defeating Trump without Biden at the top of the ticket. So Axelrod, being one of Obama's henchmen, we know there's this like Obama versus Biden thing going on, is still sticking to that. Let's see. More leaks from within the Biden administration, or more people speaking out here. It looks like White House staffers say they're trying to keep Biden stitched together until the election. So this is hilarious. ABC News ran a new hit piece on Joe Biden's disturbing appearance at last month's Juneteenth concert. Last month, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris hosted a Juneteenth concert featuring Gladys Knight and Patti LaBelle on the South Lawn of the White House. 81-year-old Biden had just returned to the White House after a 5-day trip to Paris, France, and immediately made his way to the South Lawn for the Juneteenth concert. He looked exhausted. Biden awkwardly stood still as everyone around him danced. It looked like the drug cocktail wore off. Again, here it is. That's all I can handle. ABC News on Thursday evening ran a hit piece on Joe Biden nearly 1 month after the Juneteenth concert. Recall that just a couple weeks ago, news outlets were attacking conservative media for posting cheap fakes of Joe Biden. Now the same outlets are suddenly reporting on Joe Biden's cognitive decline. Quote, multiple people who attended a Juneteenth concert at the White House last month, just 17 days before the presidential debate, told ABC News in interviews that they had concerns about President Biden after personally watching him at the event. ABC News reported, quote, we didn't know quite what to make of it, but we thought it was different in that he seemed altered, said Democrat State Rep Ron Reynolds. Staffers told Democrat lawmakers they are trying to keep Biden stitched together until the election. Quote, together, the individuals ABC News spoke with, which includes state lawmakers and a former Obama White House official, described Biden at the event as aloof and stiff, and his speech as garbled. One lawmaker said her assessment of the president at the event came after she had privately raised concerns to White House staffers months before, jokingly saying that they could keep the president stitched together until the election. So they're all just openly reporting this now. Again, and it's so funny to me because they all knew this was the case a long, long time ago, and
look at the I don't know if you see that the advertisement. That's what they have to do every night to pay I don't know, whatever Democrat gods. Apparently, they want you to place aluminum foil in the toilet at night or something. I don't know what's up with that. What kind of ritual is that?
I don't know. I've never seen that. All They have the weirdest ad on the Gateway Pundit, I have to say. Some of the weirdest ads, but good on them, man. They're making
At least
that.
they got rid of that weird foot one. That was weird.
Yeah, get that price per click. There you go. So funny. All right, let's see what else we can squeeze in here before the break.
Well,
All
it
right.
goes to show you that all the articles and everything pushing them out, that he and his inner circle are the only ones standing in the way.
Yeah, and
There's definitely a move to have him out. He ain't playing.
no, he's not. And watch this clip here, right? So this is Chris Matthews on MSNBC talking about Biden versus the elites, and it's going to lead into a bigger conversation. But let's start by playing this and go from there.
He's been good at it. He's been reelected every time since our with pretty healthy majorities. In life, he lost his wife and he lost his daughter, and he found Jill. Now, who's he going to listen to, Jill or George Clooney? I'm telling you, it's personal. He's had the elite, and it's so true about the elite. He is absolutely right about the elite. Look at President Obama. He served for 8 years loyally, and yet Obama backed Hillary Clinton for president and didn't back him. But I hear he never even invited him upstairs. He had a good reason to be resentful, but he isn't. He puts up with it with the elite. But right now, he's got the poor people. He's got minorities. He's got Hispanics. He's going to put out the labor. He's going to hold that base of the Democratic Party, which he will need in November. And I'm telling you, people are going to end up rooting for him in October because he will have a comeback. And in this elite-fashioned attack on him, they're going to pay for it. But in the end, they're going to end up voting for him. So I think Biden will be the little guy. He'll be the Democrat in this race, the true Democrat. And he's going to get people to turn for him in October. It's going to be stunning. He is not quitting. He is not built to quit. That's what I think. And I think it's the most important thing we're going to resolve here. It's been good.
Right, so
that deserves to be clipped.
Hold on, Tim. What he's basically saying is that, and I saw Charlie Kirk talk about this earlier today too, is that Biden is going to position himself as a Democrat populist, right? He's going to position himself as the little guy. Look at this. The elites in my own party, the elites out there, and you already saw some of this, want me out. They don't like me. I'm an outsider, trying to maybe take some of that away from Donald Trump. I'm an outsider. I'm here to fight for the little guy. I'm the little guy. Look, all the big money, they don't like me. They don't want me. Ignoring the fact that it's because he's completely senile and incapable of running. It has nothing to do with his ideas or policies go up against what they want. But he's going to try to use this and spin it and make him seem like this, like Chris Mays just said, as an underdog story. I don't know, or Chris Matthews, excuse me. I don't know how successful it'll be, but you could see the way that if they do keep him around, how they're going to position him. Go ahead, Tien.
Just watch how many times he brings up Scranton, PA, where he only lived until he was 10, and his family, his parents were well off, and
right.
his dad hit some skids in the business world, but he's been on the government teat for 50 years. He is the elite.
Yeah, well, that's
he's not the multi-billionaire elite, but he's made himself an elite. And by the fact that he's been in government that long, living off the government and milking it from the perspective of all the side deals and the corruption, he is the elite. He's just basically going to use this. And like I said, watch how many times he brings up Scranton, PA.
I'm sure it'll be a lot. He's Lunchbox Joe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
And I mean, Chris Matthews, give me a break. Well, he lost his wife and his daughter, and he turns to Jill. He was banging Jill before he lost his wife.
A detail, Tien. A detail.
A detail.
Actually, he was banging someone else's wife before.
Yeah, that's right.
He stole someone's wife. That's not. It wasn't. Joe wasn't single.
No.
Another detail. But no, I mean the way they spin it and try to sell it is
what it
is. All right.
But it's going to be lovely to play that back for Chris in October.
Oh,
What?
for sure. Yep, it's always fun to watch how these things age. All right, guys, it is time to go exclusively over to pill.net for hour number 2. Thank you to everybody out there joining us in hour number 1. Hit that thumbs up button, red pill, and repost. I'm going to play a quick video on the other side. We'll come back. We'll shut down the other platforms officially, and we will read your gold pill chats and continue on with the conversation. We'll talk a little bit more about Biden and the Democrats, and then got some other topics to get into as well. So we'll finish up the week with a hodgepodge of different things here to wrap up the Friday show. But first, get on over to pill.net. Let me get the link out there into the live chats for you on Rumble and DLive. It's also in the Rumble description, or simply go to pill.net in your browser and find us at 412 Productions. And here we go. All right, come on over, guys. We got much more to discuss. Where is my... Here we go.
Pill.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pill.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@pill.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pill.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, we are back. Big thank you to everybody out there who have jumped over and continued watching with us on pill.net. You know how much I appreciate all of you who do that. Again, the link is in the video description on Rumble and in the live chat on Rumble and DLive, or go to pill.net and just find us at 412 Productions in the search bar, or in the live thumbnails at the top or left-hand side of the screen for mobile and desktop, respectively. Yeah, if you're not going to join us, no worries. We'll be back on Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern time to kick off another week of deplorable discussion. So jump on over for hour number 2, or have a great rest of your Friday and a wonderful weekend. And we'll see you guys on the next one.